$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too big to fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your wages are being garnished. We can stop that now. It's hard enough to pay your bills when things are good, let alone when a big chunk of your take-home pay is gone before you even get your check. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne, and I can stop the garnishment and get the creditors off your back immediately, often the same day as our consultation. Both Chapter 7 and 13 provide bankruptcy relief, but choosing the right chapter is crucial. In a free consultation, we can create a plan to get your finances back under your control. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle, celebrating our 50th anniversary. That's right. A week from Friday, we will be having the beginning of our year-long celebration. It's going to be a 50th anniversary weekend that we kick off on that Friday. And boy, do we have some stars and interviews and lots of just great stuff planned for that whole day and weekend.
It's been fun looking at like Kathy Faulkner's social media pages. I just saw like she was posting some stuff on like nude stock back in the day with Bob Rivers.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of Bob Rivers, all of Bob Spike and Joe are going to join us on the show. Mike McCready from Pearl Jam is going to join us on Friday next week. Rick Graves from the Mariners. Lots of great luminaries.
Baseball.
Yeah, man, it's going to be a lot of fun celebrating 50 years of KISW.
Yeah, it's a blast, man. And, of course, you, the Rockaholics, are going to be a big part of it as well, because without you, we don't get to 50. It's as simple as that. So make sure you tune in on Friday, the 12th of February, a week from this Friday. You'll hear all the stories, all the memories, all the debauchery.
Like nude stock. Look at that picture, BJ.
I know, that is insane.
All those naked rockaholics spelling out KISW.
Kathy's been posting a lot of cool stuff about her time, and of course it was a powerful time. Kathy was one of the biggest personalities we've ever had in the history of this station. She did so much for the rock, so much for the local music scene, and she's been posting a lot of cool stuff. Just check out her Facebook page. Man, that's good stuff. And she's also awesome. Anyway, yes, KISW's 50th anniversary supported by Palace Law. All the info at KISW.com.
Let's play B-Migs. It's time to play the game. Yeah! So everybody scream his name. B-Migs, don't be a loser. Whoa! B-Migs, you're a loser.
It is time to be mixed, but it's Wednesday, so maybe he'll get whacked, or maybe he'll do some whacking.
Let me see everybody do their Mr. Wacky then. All right.
Wave those arms in the air.
Do it.
Whack it.
Let's get to our contestant. We got Pat in Mount Vernon. Pat, are you there?
I am here. How's it going?
Going pretty good.
Hey, Pat.
All right, Steve, get out of here.
Get out, buddy. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out.
For those playing at home, Pat will have 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. Pat, you can pass all you want, but you will only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
I am ready.
In chess, what term is used when a king is threatened with capture and there is no chance for escape?
Check?
No.
Checkmate.
Checkmate, yes. What U.S. city is the home of the Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum?
Nashville.
Yes. What late actor starred alongside Demi Moore in the movie Ghost?
Pass.
How many different railroads can be bought in the game of Monopoly?
4.
Yes. A human's chewing teeth are known by what name?
Incisors.
Yes. What was the name of the Ewok Warwick Davis portrayed in Star Wars?
Wookiee? Wookiee. Chewbacca.
No.
Pass.
Which team is tied with the Boston Celtics for the most championships won?
The 76ers.
No.
Chicago Bulls.
No.
The Magic.
No. 1, 2, 3, 4 correct.
Oh,
got hung up on that one. Yeah, it's
Magic might have been the right word.
Hey, good call on that. Yeah,
but, not for the team, but for the player.
Mm-hmm.
And
so close.
That question about the Star Wars question is a little deep.
Oh, you think so?
I don't know the answer to that.
Really?
If Steve knows, I'm going to have to tip my cap to him because I don't know the answer.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I figured you would just get this one right away.
Yeah, dude. If it's that easy, I'm an idiot. But, it
might just be that easy to me.
I also don't have an affinity for that situation.
Truth.
So it could be I've just blocked out everything about that situation.
Snowmen.
No, it's
not snowmen. It could have been, though. Are you ready?
Yes.
In chess, what term is used when a king is threatened with capture and there's no chance for escape?
Checkmate.
Yes.
Checkmate.
What U.S. city is home to the Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum?
Nashville.
Yes. What late actor starred alongside Demi Moore in the movie Ghost?
Patrick Swayze.
Yes. How many different railroads can be bought in the game of Monopoly?
4.
Yes. A human's chewing teeth are known by what name?
Sizers?
No.
What the hell are they called? Incisors.
Yes.
Wow.
What was the name of the Ewok Warwick Davis portrayed in Star Wars?
Gizmo.
No.
That's it. Elmo. Happy birthday, Elmo.
Oh, take Elmo's birthday. Wow.
Yeah, it is. Snuffleupagus.
No. Oh. Which team is tied
with...
No. Oh. What team is tied with the Boston Celtics for the most championships won?
LA Lakers?
Yes.
That's it.
What gas makes soda bubbly?
Carbonation.
No.
Carbon.
No.
Carbonite.
No.
Carbonite. Yes.
In what 2013 movie did Sandra Bullock play an astronaut trapped in space?
Gravity.
Yes.
Great
1, 2,
movie,
3,
kinda.
4, 5, 6, 7. You win 7-4.
Oh, sorry, Pat.
That's all good, man. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Have a good day.
there.
Thanks for playing, buddy. Good game from Steve, actually.
Yeah.
Was it the Ewok question that you were talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I love the Ewoks. I don't really know any of their names. I didn't even know they had names.
That might have been real deep.
There's only one. There's basically only one that really has a name in Return of the Jedi.
Is it like a weird thing like Nub Nub or?
No, that's what they say. Yeah,
okay, then I have no idea.
Maybe it was too deep. Wicket.
No, it's not. You're
okay.
Right.
You remember Wicket?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, yeah.
I don't remember Wicket.
He was the only really named one out of all of them that was going on. He was the big helper with it.
Yeah, I honestly just completely forgot until you said it.
Did they ever call him by name in the movie, or is that just what his name was in the credits?
I don't know for sure.
There's a lot, like, for instance, like the little guy that laughed all the time next to Jabba.
Yeah, Salacious Crumb.
But they never called him Salacious Crumb in the movie. They just called him that in the credits.
Oh,
I mean, as far as I know, I
can't remember.
I don't think they've ever said, "Hey, by the way, this is Salacious Crumb." I mean, it was just some little laughing a-hole, But I mean, they give a name to everybody. Everybody does have a name, and I have the calendar, and I flip it over, and I go, "Oh, this guy had a name." As it goes, today is the 5th, and whatever.
Oh yeah, and let you know all about that.
Yeah, and they go, "This is Salacious Crumb." I'd be like, "I didn't know he had a name."
His full name is Wicket W. Warwick.
Wicket W. Warwick?
Yep. And wasn't that the name of the actor?
Warwick Davis was his name. So
they kind of named a sort of a play on his own name.
Maybe, yeah. That's kind of interesting.
I think
Wicket Wystrie Warwick. That's his full name.
Yeah, see, they have names for that. I love that they come up with names, but we don't ever hear all that stuff.
I don't know if they ever said the name, but there you go.
BJ, do you know what makes soda bubbly?
Well,
BJ, Steve was super close.
I'm going to say carbon monoxide?
No, that's the one that kills you.
Dioxide.
Yes, carbon dioxide is the one that doesn't kill you.
I always forget.
I'm glad I'm not involved in charge of having to make the carbonation in my drinks.
I did enjoy the carbonite there.
Yeah, I'd be putting carbon monoxide in there. You'd be putting people in carbonite. Yeah, that would not be a good drink for anybody.
No. Congrats on your win, Steve.
Good job, Stevie.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So we were talking about, of course, was it yesterday we told everybody about Dustin Diamond's passing, who played Screech on Saved by the Bell. Mark Paul Gosselaar opened up about his relationship with Dustin Diamond in a new interview just one day after the death of Screech and Dustin. And here's a little bit of what he said about Dustin.
it was only a few weeks ago that we heard about his diagnosis, and for it to happen so quickly is shocking. But myself and the rest of the cast, we will get together at some point and sort of express our feelings. But yeah, it happened so quickly that we're all just pretty shocked about it.
So he said a few weeks ago, where we just found out last week, right? Didn't we get informed last week that he was battling stage 4 cancer?
I think so, but the time, honestly, I don't know. When I first heard it, I just assumed, okay, well, he's going to be able to recover from it, because he's just so, you don't think someone 44 is going to lose their life to cancer. I mean, I know it happens, but it's just like, I didn't really think about it until yesterday or 2 days ago when the alert came out that it was grave.
Yeah. Mark Paul said that the two hadn't stayed in touch much over the years.
A lot of people may not understand that you can work with somebody for years. You could be very close. You see this person every day for an entire season of shooting. And then once things wrap, the camera stops. You just drift apart. And before you know it, years have passed. And I think that was what happened with Dustin with the rest of the cast. There was a time where I wasn't talking with anybody of the cast.
It is weird how people you guys were a big part of my childhood, therefore you should be hanging out together all the time.
Yeah, I remember that was the case for a lot of Star Trek actors too, like of the original series. They just weren't aware of how important that show was to people. They just thought, hey, it was another job. We went on and did our own thing. What do you mean? What are you talking about? And then all of a sudden you find out, like with you guys, well, no, you were a big part of my Saturday mornings, man. You guys should be buddies forever.
Well, I think that the question, it's like, you could not like somebody but still feel bad that they passed away. And I think I feel like probably Mark the dude wrote some awful stuff about the castmates of Saved by the Bell. It seemed like, he wasn't necessarily the greatest person. It doesn't mean that you're going to be happy that he passes away. You're still going to be sad that the guy's gone. You can feel bad that someone that you didn't like is no longer here, but God forbid he says that. You know what I mean?
And again, Steve, I think more and more people are being aware of mental health and addiction issues, knowing that you're not a bad person because you're not even you when you're on that stuff. And I think that's fueled. I think that fueled a lot of how Dustin behaved in his life.
And I just feel like there's no winning for any of the castmates of Saved by the Bell, because if any of them try and say something nice about him, like, oh, well, where were you all these years?
Yeah.
But if they said, look, we had a falling out, the guy wasn't the best to me, and I'm really sad that he's no longer with us, but I'm not going to try and sugarcoat you guys, lie to you guys and tell you that I like him. But if they said that, that would be just such a PR nightmare for them.
Yeah. Well, it's like you said, it's a no-win situation.
Right.
Yeah. There's no way you can go with it. Yeah. You say something nice, you don't say something nice, someone's going to give you grief. That's the internet for you right there.
That's a good point.
We got a teacher that just shared a great story about the harsh realization that he was getting old. And you know what? It's going to make a lot of you feel old, too. You hear what he said at 7:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too big to fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
New on Curiosity Stream. With superior armies comes superior weapons. How has innovation mechanized the battlefield? From bullets to battleships and everything in between. It's machinery of warfare. Plus, from the gross to the gourmet. See how that in-flight meal lands on your tray table. On secrets of your airline food. It's all on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. It's really fun to see online how people are catching up with me because someone asked, what was that harsh realization that you were getting old?
Oh, geez.
And the teacher actually had a great answer.
One example of when you had a harsh realization that you are getting old.
I have a 7th grade class called Intro to Theater. One of the skits that we did this year was called The Note, and it's about some students in a classroom, and some girls are passing a note back and forth, and some boys get a hold of it, and they kind of have a fight because the girls don't want the boys to know what the note is about. So after reading through the skit once, the students were visibly confused, and when I asked them what their problem was, they explained that they didn't understand the premise of the skit. So I had to explain writing down a message on a piece of paper and secretly passing it to another student in a class. That's how we did it before cell phones.
It's true. Now you can text whatever you want to somebody and...
Oh, but you can't do the old fun, like, fold it up and then have, like, the little check box, like, check this box if you want to, like, hang out.
Oh, that one, yeah.
What do you do now? Retweet if you want to hang out?
That's what you got to do, yeah.
I guess. Like this if you think I'm cool.
Yeah, sorry, Steve.
Use the care emoji.
Yes.
On Facebook.
Yeah, I mean, the idea that, that you could, you could pass a note to somebody. People used to use that as an example. You'd write down a note, tell someone to tell someone behind you, but you just give them a piece of paper and say, don't pass it, but just pass it on.
Uh-huh.
And then how the message would be completely distorted by the time I got to the 30th person.
You know what's funny is we never did notes like that in middle school. What we did was we just had like notes. It was like this own like post office system where you'd write like a full page letter to people and you pass them in between. I still have my full bag of like 200 notes at my mom's house. It's a trash bag full.
Of just all the conversations you had with people?
Yeah.
No, ours was the note thing, that's for sure. But we would just mess with each other because like in high school, we were all boys. And so, you kind of don't have any sense of like tact or class or anything like that. So the game would be like you'd pass notes around, but then there's always one that you would try and mess with. And then what you would do is you kind of reach down your pants and pull out a couple pubies, put it in the note and fold it up. And then you'd send it off and then you'd pick whoever you just felt like effing with that day. And it was always the worst because you'd open up and you're like, damn it.
No one's a winner in this situation because either the person that's pulling the pubes out, that hurts. And then the person
it's
receiving
not that painful.
Listen, Vicky, these guys were giving up the body for the joke.
Everyone, but then everyone watching knows what's about to happen because you've already premeditated. It's like, hey, today I'm sending the pubes to this guy.
Oh my God.
And so you would send them off, and then all of a sudden, and you knew whenever you got a note and everyone's looking at you, you're like, damn it, this is going to be the pube note. You know it, but you got to open it. It's just kind of like the thing.
Yeah. You know what? That's
so great.
I never had that happen to me, and I'm glad.
Well, then don't ever go to an all-boy Catholic high school because that's what we would do. You can't do that with a cell phone hack, kids.
Yeah.
I think you got to text pictures of the pubes.
That's not a good idea either.
No.
I think
somehow worse.
Yep.
That's the
Yeah, you rip them out, take a
topic
picture.
of the day.
Why not?
You realize you shouldn't tell kids to do that, right?
Oh, no, I was thinking just with us in our group chat, as adults.
You realize we shouldn't do that either. All right. Okay. I hope you guys are the two of you are really very just amazing human beings.
I just like a couple of pubies. What the F?
Yeah, exactly. I know. This is who I work with. This is how I spent my entire career. It's led me to this point.
What do you want from me? This was in high school. I don't do it anymore.
Yeah,
it's
as
not
far
like we
as I
send
know.
links of
giant dong guys.
Yeah, giant dong guys to our friends these days.
Who would do that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah, that's fine. Thanks, Danny. I'm so glad we hired. I'm so glad we hired Danny.
Let's pass him a note.
Yeah. Yeah. You can thank the other moron who used to work on this show, Brad, for that one. Okay. So I'm so happy. Hey, Brad, if you're listening, you're a dick. Thank you. All right.
Did you see the meme of that? Someone took that picture that you sent off as a quick aside, but like that picture that you accidentally sent all of us of that really large and in charge man.
Yes.
Somebody posted a picture where they put the Bernie Sanders mittens picture and posed him in front of that guy so it looks like he's embracing and holding Bernie.
Oh,
and I was
okay,
like, I almost sent it off, but I'm like, I don't know what mindset and what kind of mood BJ's in right now. I don't want to set him off, but it was really funny.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have minded so much, but I don't think we should be doing that though, really anymore. I don't know anymore. I just don't know. But you probably be fine with it. But yeah, you're probably right. You probably shouldn't have sent it. So how about the teacher though, talking about the fact that he had this realization that he was old because he noticed that students don't pass notes anymore because, well, they got cell phones. They don't need to. So based on this, we want to know, what was that moment where you had the harsh realization that, you were getting old? 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. What was that moment where you had that harsh realization? Oh, man, I'm getting old. Your calls, your texts after the Foos on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. A teacher shared that he had this realization that he was old when he noticed that students don't pass notes anymore. Based on this, what was that moment where you had that harsh realization that you were getting old? 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. Greg in Tacoma, you are on The Rock.
Morning, BJ.
Morning, Greg. What you got for us, buddy?
I felt like I was old when I heard Guns N' Roses' Welcome to the Jungle on the classic station.
Yeah,
man.
I remember like hearing Alice in Chains and just being like, "Oh boy, here we go."
Yeah, it's like, what? No.
The music thing, I think, is like the big one for me when it comes to like feeling old. Like when I still like view Pearl Jam as like this young band, and I know they're not, but like to me they are. And it's weird whenever like you talk to somebody like, I don't listen to Pearl Jam. What is that, like some classic rock band? Like, wow, jab me in the ear with a pen.
Yeah, I've had that when our buddy who we're going to be talking to, part of the 50th anniversary, Gary Bryan, he works at an oldies station. It's literally an oldies station. And to me, that's like doo-wop 50s stuff. And I was like, let me see what Gary's doing these days. And I turned on his station and they're playing 80s music.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, that's oldies. That is so freaky for me because the oldies is always just like Happy Days oldies. You know what I mean? Like,
oldies to me is like the Beatles. Like you're listening to the Beatles. And stuff before that.
Oh, dude, you're right. It's very, very trippy to realize, but I'm old because that was my music, in my 20s, and that's oldies now. 206-421-ROCK, text us at 77999. Brett in Seattle. Brett, you are on The Rock.
Hey, morning, fellas.
Morning, Brett. How about you? When did you realize, oh man, I'm old?
Well, I'm kind of echoing the last guy. So my daughter comes up to me the other day, and she's like, "Hey, Dad, I'm really liking listening to these oldies and stuff." I go, "Oh, really? What are you listening to?" She goes, "Oh, Nirvana's Nevermind."
No, right? Yeah, it is though.
Calling that oldies? I mean, classic rock is tough enough. They're calling it oldies now.
Yeah, I know. Hey, speaking of oldies, when I first moved to Seattle, the very first band I ever saw live was Peter Parker.
Oh man, awesome! Do you remember where?
Yeah. I believe it was at the Tractor.
Okay, yeah, those are some fun shows.
Yeah, so thanks, Migs. I appreciate it, bud.
Wow, thanks for making me feel old now.
Yeah. There you go, buddy.
That's a big one when like you run into, I don't know if you guys have had this happen, BJ probably, when you run into somebody like, I've been listening to you since I was like 11 years old. I'm like, sweet. Well, how old are you now? And they're like, I just turned 30. And I'm like, oh boy. It's a long time.
It is. When I was visiting Wheeze, a guy does radio in Rochester, but we were both vacationing together, and somebody noticed us and bought us dinner. He said, "Oh man, you guys are together again, like just hanging out," because I visited him for 1 July 4th, and he goes, "Dude, man, when I was in middle school, you cracked me up." And the two of us looked at him because this guy was like 40, and so Wheeze and I are going, "Damn, are we old?" Middle school, he was listening to us. Oh.
But this text to teach the students I'm teaching, not even born when 9/11 happened, and I teach seniors in high school.
Yeah, that is, we talk about that with Pearl Harbor, how some people don't know what Pearl Harbor Day is all about. And we are going to have a bunch of kids that grow up that 9/11 is just, they're not going to know what that means.
Or even like when somebody said, like, now if you want to make sure someone's over 21, so long as there's a 19 in the birth date, like, 19 whatever, 1999 would mean that you're over 21. And so, it's like, oh boy.
So yeah, that's it. You're a 19er as opposed to a 20.
Right.
Oh, that ain't cool. Oh, man.
How about this one in the world of sports? Maybe you think about this. When you see a guy that you remember being drafted on a team is now a manager of a team.
Dude, it just happened.
Or a coach.
It just happened for me.
Yeah.
Dustin Pedroia just retired. And I remember when he was a rookie, and I remember when he was in the minors, and he was complaining that they wouldn't bring him up to the big club, and that's why they weren't winning. Mm-hmm. And he had and he just retired. And I'm like, oh my God, are you kidding? He's 37 years old.
You still probably view him as like an 18-year-old.
Exactly.
Upstart.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's nuts.
Yesterday, I had a moment where I was like, oh man, time's flying by. I was looking at my Facebook memories, and I had a random one from Danny that just said, congrats on your team. And it was from 7 years ago. I'm like, what the hell is he talking about? And I realized this is before Danny was working with us. The Seahawks won the Super Bowl yesterday, 7 years ago.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like looking at them, like, how funny. Like, now I'm looking at this, and now the guy that's congratulating me on my team, it's his team as well.
Yeah.
That is trippy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. 7 years ago.
Yeah. I almost responded being like, thanks. Just to kind of remind you of this. So you'd be confused, like, what? Because out of context, I was like, this is a very random message.
I'd be like, when did I post this?
Right. It's that, yeah, dude, when you think of Russell Wilson, it's like he has been with us that long. He's not a kid anymore.
He's still, to me, I don't know about you guys, but it still feels like he's like in season 3 of his career.
You're right.
Yeah.
And he's not. I mean,
No.
he's getting older, and, for somebody in his position, it's like, oh gosh, he's starting to get towards, if you will, I don't know. I mean, it could be the tail end of his career, but the way he holds up, but he's not a kid anymore.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
I see his daughter's in the room.
Oh, great. Alrighty.
Well, besides the fact that I'm turning 30 this year, which already is making me feel old. And
okay, that makes me feel old, too, because I remember BJ talking about taking his teenage daughter to see Britney Spears.
Right?
Yeah, dude, I feel old, too. To think that I'm going to have two 30-year-olds, it's just weird
that
in my
makes
head.
you old. Yeah.
I mean, because that's how old I was when I had you kids. So
which is also trippy to think about.
Yeah, I know. It's not, no.
But then I always thought I would keep up with social media. I always thought when I had kids, okay, I'm going to be the cool mom that knows what's going on. But now I have no interest in getting a TikTok. And I feel old. And I feel like I'm too old for it too. But I know I'm not, but I'm like, it just intimidates me. Even opening the app and everything just starts talking to you and screaming at you. I'm like, oh, no, I got to close it. I'm
too loud. Turn it off.
Exactly.
I do the same.
Don't go on TikTok. It'll make you feel older.
Oh, no.
I just found out skinny jeans are out. If you wear skinny jeans, you're an old lady.
What?
Yeah. It's all about the flared jeans and the mom jeans.
Yeah, I saw somebody shaming some woman like, oh wow, look at her in her skinny jeans. She's so out of touch.
And I'm like, what?
Oh boy.
Did you tell him to stop talking bad about me?
Yeah, right.
Okay, cool.
You'll have to show me a picture of the jeans that are back in style. Can I put on my baggy jeans again? I still kept them.
What's about women?
Oh.
Hey, if you want to wear mom jeans, BJ,
go for it.
Or bell bottoms.
Mom jeans will probably be more comfortable.
And it'll hide your gut.
Yeah.
Because those are the ones that go over the stomach.
Yes.
You can look like Taylor Swift,
so
only not at all.
What about us dudes? What are we supposed to wear? I mean, I don't think skinny jeans were ever cool for dudes anyway. I have to really be honest with you.
For a little
I mean,
bit.
with some people. Some people always thought, oh my God, what are you doing?
Loincloths, that's what you have to wear now.
Oh, loincloths.
Go back to the retro.
All right,
retro.
thanks. You guys wouldn't steer me wrong. I'm getting a loincloth today.
Go on Amazon, they're huge. Big sale.
I don't need a huge one, so it would be good.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Did I offend you finally? Wow, that's interesting.
You did.
Wow, the tables are turned.
Another one that made me feel old. It's more like because a lot of people have been saying like aches and pains and things like that. You start hurting in different places. But I remember I was like excited to share a yoga video that helped with my lower back to one of my friends, and they were excited to receive it. And I'm like,
oh yeah, dude,
what is happening to my life?
Yeah. You sent a yoga video out to help your aching back. Yeah, that is an indicator.
It's like getting overly excited and explaining my mattress to people.
Right.
Oh yeah,
but it's a good one.
And for those in need, Yoga with Adrian, the yoga for the lower back pain is a freaking lifesaver.
Are you really doing that?
I am, man.
Oh, man.
I've done a lot of her videos. She's good.
Yeah, she's great. I've done it for a week. My back has never felt this good. I feel so old telling you this, but it's the best I've ever felt, BJ.
Welcome to K Geriatric.
Yes.
We play the greatest hits of whatever your hip can take.
And she's fun. Like she wants to sometimes she wants to sing dirty songs and realizes that that's not her audience. This woman's torn. She just wants to be kind of filthy, but she can't. Well, she's doing yoga.
You should let her know that you're in the audience and that she's on the right track. Is that her there?
That's her. That's Yoga with Adrian.
She likes to sing dirty songs.
Well, she starts singing and then goes, "Oh wait, I can't sing that one. That has bad words."
Yeah, maybe not.
Wow, she's really young. Why is it always the really cute
Everybody's
young
really young to you, BJ.
Yeah.
You're right. You're absolutely right. I know. That's a sign that you're way old. Is when everybody looks young.
Starts talking about lifting her pelvis and stuff, and cracks almost slightly naughty jokes. It's a fun watch. Helps your back too.
Okay. Hey, imagine this. Imagine the first word that your kid ever says is him calling you a loser. Oh. See, this didn't happen, did it?
Yes.
Oh, Tater Tot didn't do that. Anyway, this did actually happen. We have the audio. You're going to hear it at 7:47 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. How much does bankruptcy cost?
Usually with my office, we do a flat fee that includes all your court costs, filing fees, credit counseling, credit reports, and one cost. In Chapter 13 cases, that usually starts at about $900. With Chapter 7 cases, the total cost, including all your court costs, attorney fees, is usually about $1,500. We offer payment plans on Chapter 7, so you can start a file with my office for as little as $200. You can send your creditor calls to us. We'll take your creditor calls while you gather up your information and make payments on the rest of the fees. With Chapter 13 cases, we can make payment arrangements in most cases as well and get your case filed even sooner in a Chapter 13 case because of the reorganization aspect to it.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too big to fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.